Hello everyone, it's Van here again, and today I'm going to talk about a few other joint that I think is very important and also very useful on top of the other joint or the university joint that I talked about in last time. So let's get started. So first, this is our design that we two designed it today. So this is the first one. It's very simple. It's just four bars stick together, and now I will show you how to do some basic um, motion, and also this is just like the way that I want to use to taught you guys a little bit about the some joint available for you to use, so it doesn't really have any special mechanism. So let's get into it. So the first here, I'm just loading right now. Okay, so the first here, I just need to put these two things. So basically, this is called planar joint. So basically, if you want that thing here to stick to this plane of the object, or just stick to any plane if you want, you can do that. Um, I also create like a slider joint here. So let's see how it works. Here, just play that. So as these two join here, the slider joint only apply to two bars here. So as these two bars moving, um, I attach the planar um, join from up to this thing attached to this plane over here. So this thing will always in contact with that plane. So that's why it's moving with it. So how to do that? Um, yeah, let's see what I want to say again. So here it is. This thing here will always move, with this thing. Yeah, as you can see. So now let's try to do it. These are very simple ways. So just create delete the solution. So two bodies that I want here. We don't really need to lock anything down. It's just like a basic mechanism. So let's create a join. First is to attach this one to this um here, here. The vector, I will say there. Origin, I will say there. Click OK, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's a planar join for us. So now let's create like a sliding join. Um, it's actually anything that you want. I just want to create a thing so you guys can see it more clearly. Vector, I would say this side here. No. Okay. Oh, need driver. Sorry. So I would say 10 to 15, maybe 10. Let's try it out. Solution. 10 seconds. Make it long and solve it. Okay, let's try it. Okay, so that's the joint for you. It's very easy to use, and it can be used for many other reasons. Like um, the bone structure of human is actually using this joint. So you want to like want something to like resemble that. Yes, that's actually a choice for you to using this joint. I think there's many available out there that can use this joint. So okay, so the next joint that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the inline joint. So if you want this thing here to move, like for example, sorry, if you want this head of the bar here moving up and down, however, this head of the bar here will only move, in the horizontal surface. You have to use that joint. So let's try it out. So delete that. The motion body, you have to create another one for this situation, which is this small thing here. And so this one will move up and down along with this small thing here, and this one will move horizontal. So let's try that. Let's create a sliding joint for this thing. The vector is that way. Let's click OK. It will go with the environment. I will just create. I will create like a harmonic um, function for it. I will talk about that a little bit, but it will be much easier for you guys to see if you're using this function. Next, let's create a joint. So this one here is actually like spinning around this head, so we need a revolute joint. You guys cannot, I don't know if you guys can imagine right now, but right after this, you guys will, know how to use these tools easily. You move along with this body here. So basically this one will spin, this bar here will spin along this bar at this point. So why is move up and down? Yeah. And then the inline here joint that I want to talk about today. So create a motion body. Select, sorry. So just select another origin and the vector. Okay. So what it says in this setup of choosing here, it basically means that this point here will always moving along this line. It's not gonna go up. It's not gonna go down. It's only move along this vector here. That's why it's called like an inline. Okay, so I think that's it. So let's try to run it, see if there's any problem. I think it will be okay. Okay, let's see. All right, it's good. So as you can see here, this head of the bar here will only moving up and down because of the revolute joint and the sliding joint. However, this head of the bar here only move in this direction only. As you can see here, these two arrows are means that it is restricted. However, this here is appears to be longer than the two other arrows. Um, that's what that's the line that this point can move there. And okay, so that's the two joints that I want to talk about for now. Many people actually use this uh planar joint here attached to this part to remain to stitches to the surface and remain stable on the surface for the mechanism. But it's up to you guys to use that. I just to talk to you guys through the tools how you can use with that. Um, so you guys can use it in there are many complicated designs you just want to use and mechanism and stuff. So next I want to talk about the is actually like a spherical joint. Many people call it ball joint or something, but in NX it's said spherical joint. So how it works is, let's see. Okay, so I think this is already did. Okay, so basically these two part here will always stitch each other a surface with fit as in the design. Um, as this thing will move along as well. It basically restrict all the sliding joints possible. The only thing that is allowed to move in this joint only is the spinning, and it can basically spin anywhere as you can see. So let's try that. Um, First of all, delete the joint. Let's try some simple things first. So if you guys do not choose mm, the base body for the spherical joint, it will appear like this. Origin here vector, I would say along this bar. Okay, just click OK. So let's check that again. because I want to use gravity in this simulation, I would say you would not use none for this mass and properties if you want to use gravity. If you use gravities, it has to have mass. Either you're going to define it or it's automatically. But you need to have some kind of mass here. So this in this case is like 18 kilograms. And you need that number here to use gravity. So solution, the gravity, I would say. Okay, that's good. Maybe 10 seconds. Okay, let's solve that. If you don't like put mass in there, you use none. This thing here will just stay forever. It's not gonna move. So play it. Yeah, as you can see, it's only spinning up and down. The gravity is actually this way, so it basically moving in a harmonic function. Um, yeah, like a clock and stuff. Okay, so that's it. So now let's stitch it to another, a bit of higher level. So um, if you want this here to stitch to this one, you basically just need to, choose the base body for it. Okay, and then if you want, yeah, like I did here, I would just create like a, cylindrical joint motion body. Now no base vector along this line, I would say. Um, origin always that point. Driver. So this is like the combination of the sliding joint and the revolute joint. It can, moving along this line as well as spinning along that center. So that is a very mm, useful joint to use. So let's say it's 15. No, no, no. Sorry, that's 180. Translation. 15. I say click OK. Let's check that again. All right. So solve that and let's try it. Okay. Oh, it's moving in a. Okay, so as you can see here, there's no contact between these two, but you can see that it's only spinning there. Of course, if you can just limit the movement of the bar here, but for this section, I would just fix that a little bit. Change the vector. Okay, solve that. So let's play that again and then, yeah, let's see. Okay. So just you can see it easier, it's moving upward. So I think that's it for this class. Um, I just wanted to guide you guys through some basic things, some basic joint that you guys might not know is available, or may not use as efficient. I take a lot. I had to spend a lot of time figuring out all this stuff. At first, that I do. Even though I attach the spherical joint to it, even if this thing move, this thing just, let's say, stay in place in this origin. So, and also about the gravity here. If you don't put like mass, for example, none, just hide that. Just delete that. Let's try it. If you don't have like mass for it, the gravity of course is not going to affect the object. So it takes me a while to figure that out. So as you can see, it will stay at a place. It's not gonna moving. But right after you put, you know, mass or anything, okay, it should, appear anything here. And then, solve it, then create some animation for it. You guys can see there's a small details that affect all the process. Um, oh, okay, so that's basically, yeah, so you have to just you don't need kind of need that anymore. So that's basically it for this class. Um, so today I just guide you through again some basic tools that you guys can use, some basic um, join. Again, these two things are always the most important tools because this join here, as you can see, there's like 15 kind of joints that you guys can use in this motion. But they're actually just kind of, I would say, 5 or 6 or maybe 7 if you guys doing some complicated mechanism. But as always, the most basic mechanism in this here is always a revolute joint, a slider joint, and a cylindrical joint. Because most of the mechanism out there using these three, this actually like a little bit imagination. For example, where this planar joint, you don't actually have anything to fix that into the planar. You just say that it's fixed. You just constrain that in the software, and it's not actually happening in real life. So these three here, however, actually happen in real life. So yeah, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoy it. See you later.